Hello, it's Mark Attwood here. Slight change of scene to my normal video. Should be able to see, well, you won't be able to see it, but just about there is a castle in the middle of this lake, which is 1,000 years old at least, where W.B. Yeats used to do magic stuff when he was part of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn with Aleister Crowley, once called the most evil man on earth in history. Possibly a lot of the 20th century was down to Aleister Crowley's teachings. But this is an update, and this update, as with most of my videos, I never know what I'm going to say until I start them. But just driving down here tonight to get a bit of this cleansing reality of the rain, and I was thinking about the fact that we are the new leaders. You are the leader that you've been looking for, because we're in this extraordinary circumstance at the moment where the people that look as if they're in charge of your country right now are probably not really in charge, and they're probably not the real people that you think they are. There is a huge cleanup operation going on worldwide, and a lot of these people have been replaced, and they're playing out a narrative and a story simply because you can't stand up in front of the world stage and say, yeah, there's a couple of million Satanists that have been in charge of your lives for the last few thousand years, and they eat children, babies, and they're probably connected to reptiles and demons and that kind of stuff. I mean, that's just too much for most people to take. So, you know, it's being drip fed. I mean, you've probably seen the kind of shenanigans that Hunter has been up to. If you haven't, go and have a look. Look up, Alex Jones just did a good video on it actually, on Banned Video, Infowars. Interesting Alex Jones. I've got lots to be thankful to Alex Jones for over the years, but he's a little bit too much like that. I'm Alex Jones. I do like doing impressions of him, but he's got some. He's done a really good video on Hunter and the unspeakable things that Hunter Biden has been up to. And surely this is the end of Joe Biden. I mean, the president said at the weekend in a rally, Joe's shot. Joe's gone. Joe's a gonzo. He's a gonzo. You know, he talks in code, right? So he's telling us what's actually happening, which is amazing. It makes the whole thing a lot easier to cope with, especially if you're going into level 5 lockdown, as this country is supposed to be doing tonight, which is a right royal pain in the ass. But I think it's part of the process, so I'm not too concerned about it. But so if these leaders are gone, you know, I mean, I don't really do predictions, but I'm pretty sure. And don't shoot me down if I'm wrong on this, because I don't claim to be a psychic medium or anything with tarot cards and stuff. But I would be very surprised if Trump didn't win this election unopposed. Let's put it that way. And I think there's some really big things going to happen in the next 2 weeks. And then, of course, we've got December the 21st. And then the date March the 22nd keeps coming up, even though I'm having, I'm trying to pull it closer to us in my own manifestations, but this is actually a time-consuming process, and really we've only just started, because the new world that we're going to come into with the new financial system, I mean, if you don't believe in the new financial system, just go to quantum.gov, a very coded website released by the American government last week, quantum.gov. If that's not the biggest indicator of what's to come, I don't know what is. So if there's a quantum financial system coming into place, which is parity and gold-backed money and no debt and usury and all debts paid off and just a whole new system, there, the world we're going into is going to, that just from that point alone, it's going to be pretty extraordinary. But if there's quantum education, which I think there is, because I think there's a reason why I did a video called Quantum Education System, because in a nutshell, this whole channel is being guided. I'm just following my inner guidance with pretty much everything that I do. on this channel and with my life now. And that's why I'm here to say that the leader that you are looking for is inside you. We are the new leaders, because people have got to stand up to fill these places and start thinking about solutions instead of going on about the virus. And I mean, look, only a complete idiot believes the virus and the pandemic is real. We all know that, those of us that are awake anyway. So let's stop talking about it. Let's just get on with the solutions. And there are solutions popping up. And I listened to an amazing interview today with Mark Devlin, and a guy whose name I wish I could, can't remember his name. I swore to myself on the way down I'll try and remember his name, but I'll post a link to this video and the website below, who's bringing a private lawsuits against every one of the 600 plus MPs in the UK for fraud. And there are barristers working for free to help him do this, which is pretty cool, right? And then there's the Biden stuff, and there's going to be then there's the HRC stuff, and then there's Obamagate. Let's not forget that. It is fairly clear now that those three, that triumvirate of evil, were clearly guilty of high treason, at the very least, which is it's a bit like getting Al Capone for his taxes. You know, their true crimes are far, far bigger than that, but it was big enough. You know, those poor guys, the SEAL 6 team, wiped out by who they thought they were their own people. So look, it's getting a bit wet here. So I've come into the car to finish off this video because I got a bit wet outside. Yeah, so big changes ahead, and there's a couple of other things I wanted to update you guys on. One is I just want to say a huge thank you to everybody for all the comments that I've had recently, just new subscribers, very much appreciated. Also that people have gone down into the description in the video and clicked on some of the links I put in there. You know, this channel is free obviously, and I don't get paid for making these, but there are some links down there. The most important link down there is the email list. If you get on my email list, and whatever happens to this channel, I'll be able to keep in touch with you. But there are other things down there that you can donate, and those that have donated, I want to thank you very much. It's much appreciated. It does help. I know people say that on YouTube channels all the time, but it really does help. There's also an amazing detox link down there where you can get CBD oil and the best detox products I've ever found, which is a kind of nanoparticle zeolite spray. There's a link down below that explains that. There's also some crypto stuff down there for those that are interested, a bit of gold and silver stuff. But you know, any engagement with what I put in the descriptions is greatly appreciated. And I don't put it in there lightly, you know, and I don't say this lightly either. I really do appreciate it, because this channel's kind of taken over my life. Then what else? Oh yeah, wow. Yesterday, the Yellow Vests of Ireland, a guy there called Mark Laidlow, he posted my poem Last Stand in Dublin, which scared the bejesus out of me, to be honest, because I know there's a lot of people in Ireland that are very angry with the yellow vest, but you know, that's why I wrote it, that's why I published it, because it is time to stand up, and it is time to stand up and be counted. Because, you know, I read some of there were loads of positive comments. That it's had over 11,000 views in 24 hours, which for a poem is just mind-blowing. And they've asked me to speak at the next rally. I don't know if I've got the balls to do that, but we'll see. Yeah, there were some comments there like, he's not even Irish, you know, even though I just spent 5 minutes explaining why I was making this poem about Ireland. But you know, there's also some amazing comments from somebody from Peru. And this is what I really wanted to do with that poem, is just to say, look, this isn't just about Ireland, this is about all of us. This is about every freedom fighter, everybody in the world who's got the balls, and believe me, it takes balls to stand up against this level. This psychological operation is the biggest operation against the human race in history. There was another comment, somebody said, what tyranny? Another one that said, World War III, what an idiot, what a prick, you know. And you have to. I went through a process a few years ago where there was an online hate campaign against me, and it did break my heart. But right now, you know, it took me years to go over that, to be honest. But now, I literally couldn't give two fucks, because it doesn't matter. It's too late now. This is it. We're in the end of days. This is either, you know, one timeline is New World Order, and most of us dead. And I'm not joking about that. Do the research. The other timeline is the Golden Age, and you know, part of talking about the Golden Age is part of manifesting it. So I know, I understand, right? I fully understand that we are moving into the most extraordinary period in human history. We have already ascended. We're already in an ascension process at the very least. And you know, myself, I've got unbelievable ringing in the ears. I've got pain in my back. I've got a headache. I've been sleeping, drinking loads of water. Every day has taken every ounce of energy that I've got to get done what I need to get done, and then I'm almost collapsing, to be honest. But this is what we're doing. We're doing a lot of work. I mean, we're multi-dimensional beings. Do not forget that. And some of us are working very, very hard outside of this. Yeah. So, oh, another thing is thanks to everybody who said I was like Ricky Gervais. Yeah, thanks for that. I take it as a compliment, actually, because he's one of the funniest guys ever. So I love Ricky Gervais, so I'm not going to take that as a bad thing. I've had that Ricky Gervais thing and Kenneth Branagh for about 20 years, so it's no skin off my nose. But I'm not either of them. I'm Mark, and I'm here and just doing my thing. You know, normally a bloke in a kitchen, currently a bloke in a car with a slightly wet parka. So, massive thanks to all of you again for all the feedback and all the videos. I've had a huge amount of requests for part 2 to the Abracadabra code. A few people said it was complete nonsense. I don't think it is. I think there's quite a lot to it, and I think those guys, us, or Juicy and Lucy, are extraordinary and fascinating. I mean, it is fascinating, and that's what this channel is. It's a discovery channel. It's you know, I'm not putting anything up saying this is all true. I'm just putting things up saying this is an intellectual, emotional, spiritual adventure, and maybe a physical adventure as well at some point. But you know, explore, do your own research, listen, see if things resonate with you. And I know a lot of you have asked for the PDF of the Abracadabra code diagram, but to be honest, I only got the picture literally 10 minutes before we did the video, and I put them into a Word doc so we could illustrate it, and I was planning to go through all of them, but there's so much information coming out of those two, and I had to keep slowing them down so that people could understand what they were saying. So I'm going to put them into a PDF, and it'll be on the part 2 video as a download, and we're going to charge a small amount for it, because I think these guys have put a lot of effort into this and they deserve something, you know, just as an exchange of energy, really. It's not about making millions of quid, it's not at all. But yeah, that's what we're going to do. So massive thanks to everybody for all the support. It's very humbling, it's very amazing, and I do appreciate it. So see you soon.